So Bannerlord has been out for a couple of days now, and I've been able to accumulate 10 tips to hopefully help both the veterans of the old Mount and Blade Warband game, or the players who are completely new to the franchise. Just a side note before we start this video, I'm currently live streaming a playthrough on Twitch. The link will be in the description. So to start, the first tip is constantly smithing. Now, smithing is a great skill that is often overlooked. The weapons you can create are quite good, although the main attraction, in my opinion, is extremely overlooked. Now, that feature would be the breaking down of weapons to gain money. Now, you first do this by actually gaining some hardwood and refining it into charcoal, and then smelting the weapon. Now, if we actually go into the town, go into the trade menu, and see if we can find any wood. So the hardwood here is actually expensive, but that doesn't really matter. So let's say 2 hardwood will cost us 82 dinars. Now if we have a weapon up here, let's say this falchion, we will only get 93 dinars from this falchion. And let's see how much we get if we actually break it down. So let's just say the total cost of us selling this, just straight up, would be 200 dinars, because obviously we have to pay about 100 dinars for the hardwood. Let's pay for that. 82 dinars spent. Enter the smithy. We would then refine the 2 hardwood into a piece of charcoal. Let's go in here. We will then get the 2 raw iron and the 1 crude iron. So if we sell that in here, we will get we'll then get 379 dinars. Now obviously depending on the location you'll get more profit, less profit, etc. But there's also another trick of buying the low end weapons. Don't know if there's any in there, but there's one here, the sickle, which is 67 dinars. You can actually just buy these and then break them down and then sell the materials that you gain. You will get a profit. Just be careful, because if you sell hundreds and hundreds of materials to the same city, the price does go down. Now the next tip is passive income. Now this has changed recently, so I would suggest you do your own research on what I'm about to discuss. Although the 2 main ways of passive income at the moment is the workshops, which have always been in the game from the old game as well, and the caravans. Now the workshops can be brought in the cities. Now you do this by going to the town center. What I actually do is I talk to the merchant, and it will actually take you into the city. Sometimes it's actually closer to the workshop, just saves a little bit of time. So to get the caravan, it's in the cities. You talk to the merchants at the top. There are sometimes 2 merchants in the cities. Wrong button there. So you just click I wish to form a caravan in this town, then you would accept the conditions of 15,000 dinars. As you see here, it says you need to pay at least 15,000 dinars to hire 29 caravan guards, and you also need 1 of your companions to lead the caravan. So you accept these conditions, and then just for this example we can actually pay for one. And it will take some time to actually set up the caravan, and at the start you will probably make a loss of a couple hundred dinars, but over time you will gain a lot more money. Now for the workshops, you can hold down the Alt, and you'll need to go to the linen weavery to start a workshop. Now this can be different in different cities, I believe. You just need to go to the workshop. So there's the wood workshop, the weavery, things like that. There's a whole list of them. Okay, so once you're at the location of the workshop, you need to talk to the workers. You don't actually talk to the named person here if you're holding down Alt. You actually have to find a worker. There's one right here. Then you just go, I would like to buy this workshop, and then you would then purchase it for the cost. I can't do this at the moment because I've got the maximum amount of workshops that I can have. But once you click yes, you then pick which workshop that you want. At this time, I believe the wood workshops are the best, although they did get nerfed recently, so I'd have to do some more research on that one. Now that's how you generate passive income, and I would suggest this is the first goal when you start a game, to just get that 15,000 dinars buy some passive income and then rinse and repeat until you've maxed it out. Now, tip number 3 is influence. Once you start to progress in the game, you'll notice how useful influence actually is in influencing the king to give you castles or cities, or just to accumulate an army. Now, the easiest way I have found to gain influence is by donating troops from your army into the castles or cities that's owned by your faction, or even donating prisoners. Now, I say the best way is to just strictly donate the prisoners, as they don't really give you too many dinars in this version of Mount and Blade. Now, you need to make sure it's owned by the faction and not by you, because if it's a castle that's owned by you, it won't give you any influence. And then you can donate troops to the garrison. So let's just say we donate a few archers, just some random ones here. So these 7 troops here, we're on 83 influence right now. And then we've gone up to 93 by just donating a few troops. Now if you go to the dungeon, you can donate your prisoners. I've only got looters. I believe it does scale with the tiers, so if you're giving them rubbish, it won't give you as much. I've seen it go up by 20, 30, 40, or even 50 sometimes. So 15 looters, we're at 93 influence, 103 influence from giving them some looters that wouldn't even give us hardly anything in dinars. Now, tip number 4 is how to level your troops and actually gain quite a bit of renown. Now, the best way that I have found, and other people will tell you as well, is by auto-resolving looter battles. Now, for this, we just send in the troops, we'll speed it up, and there we go. You gain renown. They're very easy. It's very unlikely for anybody to die in your army, especially when they get to about tier 2. You will not see any deaths. You might see some injuries, but apart from that, it's very safe. And if you have a larger army, then it's even better. Now, tip number 5 is companion parties. Once you are a vassal, you can send one of your companions off into the world, and that companion will gain troops, fight battles. And they also tend to increase your relations greatly, although I'm not actually sure how this happens. Now, the biggest pro is you can create an army without any influence cost on your companion. Now, first of all, how to actually send off your companion on a solo party trip is you just click up here on the parties tab, click create new party, and then select the one you'd like to send off onto a party. How to actually summon your companion is in the kingdom menu. You go over to armies, you then click create army, and as you see here, it costs influence to summon the other vassals, although if you find your companion in the list, there he is right there, it will cost 0 influence. You will just click on him, click done, and he will travel to you. Now, you don't need to stay in the same location, he's just tunnel visioned on you. For some reason he always knows where you are, but he will go straight to you no matter what. Now, tip number 6 is trading. Now, this is, in my opinion, the best way to make money in the early game to pay for your starter workshops and caravans. Now, the theory is very simple. In a city, you'll be able to see the icon that will be green, yellow, or red. If I just go over to the miscellaneous over here, as you can see, the grain there, it has a red icon. And if you hover over it, it will say this item is X more expensive or cheaper. Now, the red one is more expensive. The just yellow one is basically the average price. And if you can find a green one right here, it's cheaper. So as we see, this item is 44% cheaper than the average. Now, the general rule of thumb is to buy the green and sell in the red. As you can see, there is also rumor prices on some of the items. So as we can see, there's a rumor price there, although they're not always true, so do take it with a grain of salt. Now, do note, when you sell large quantities of items, the price will actually change, as well as buy a large quantity of items. The market in the game is very based on supply and demand. So if this wine is X price in this city, if I end up buying it, or if some time passes and the supply and demand changes, the price will change as well. Now, for tip number 7, we have map speed. This is the most important feature of the game. Map speed is everything, in my opinion. Being quick allows you to catch up to armies, escape larger ones, or just get around the map quicker. Now, I would suggest your first army to mainly consist of cavalry units. My go-to units would be the Vladian Vanguards and the Kazite horse archers. Now there are Imperial horse archers as well that are quite good, although they don't actually turn into cavalry units until tier 5. Now another way to be quicker on the map is having extra horses for your infantry units, as they will actually mount those horses. So as you can see here, you can actually press this arrow button up here and hover over the party speed icon there, and it will actually tell you the negatives. So as we see, footmen on horses plus 0.07. If I actually sell off all of these horses, it should go down. So we're currently on 4.9, although we only have 5 horses, so it probably won't go down too much. And now we're on 4.8. So those 5 horses actually gave us a 0.1 modifier. Now another thing that weighs you down are prisoners, and prisoners in this game aren't actually worth too much compared to the old warband, although some of them you might want to keep on to actually recruit, or if there are any lords you will want to either keep them and sell them. So if you don't actually need the extra few hundred dinars from prisoners, I suggest just ignoring them. Now tip number 8 is using the encyclopedia. The game doesn't actually show you how to do this menu at all, but you just press the N key and it will open it. Now this will show you all of the information you will need from troop trees, factions, war statuses, and locations of nobles, and so on. So if you're trying to find someone, you can just type their name in. So if we were trying to find Dirthheart, the Vladian king, you would just type it in, click on the guy, and it will say up here, last seen here. Click there. Oh, we don't know where this is. We could track this, close that, scroll out, and as you see, it's tracked. It's just over there. So that's an easy way to find people as well. Now, tip number 9 is the first easy castle. Now, this might change in the future as it does seem a little bugged, but the easiest way I've found to start your own kingdom with a castle is by joining a vassal, gaining a castle from the king. And you do this when you actually help the king take over a castle. You take a castle over yourself. You can go into the kingdom menu and a menu will pop up where you can vote for people. I think it costs 50 influence to vote for yourself. Do that a few times and you will hopefully gain one. Now once he gives you the castle, you can actually click the leave kingdom button up here. And then if you click keep all your holdings and confirm, you will leave, although they will go at war with you. As you see, everyone is at war with me, and you will keep your castles. I'm not sure if I actually had one on this playthrough or not. This is a old save that I've just loaded to show you this. Although now you're at war, you must be thinking, well, they're just going to come and kill me. But the trick, which might get nerfed, is in your quests. This quest here, if you follow it through all the way and you finish it, up to the point where you can start your own kingdom, it will actually remove the war status from everybody as you start your new kingdom. Now the last tip is a way to gain Renown. As you might know, Renown is actually a huge grind in this game, and now if you combine this tip with killing looters, you should have no issues with gaining Renown. Now what you should do is travel to the cities. If you go to the arena, sometimes there'll be a tournament. Now there is no loss if you actually die. So this is the menu you see when you join the arena. There's a tournament prize, which sometimes is actually really good. Now every round you want to bet on yourself, the max wager price, and then just join the fight. Now once you win or lose, you can join on to the next one. Make sure to bet on yourself on every single round. And we're in the final. Sometimes you have to skip the round, unless you actually want to watch the other fight. Now the same, it's the final, max bet, join, and there we go, we won. 8 Renown, we got this pretty good helmet, and we got 2,129 dinars. Now, a little bonus tip, while on a mount, you can actually double tap W to run faster, or to start your initial run faster, and double tap S to stop. Now if we don't double tap W, we're a lot slower, you see. Now if I stop and I double tap it, we do a little animation and we go quicker, and if I double tap S, we stop a lot quicker. Now I'll just send in my units to deal with them. So if you made it to the end of this video, make sure you hit that like button and you'll be blessed with a good run. For real though, I appreciate every one of you guys, and I will see you in the next video. Again, just a little plug here. You can go watch my Twitch streams. I'll be live right now. So go check the link in the description, hit that follow button. Let me know that you came from this video. But again, I will see you in the next one.
I'm gonna throw my memories away. Now I feel I'm done, and I am cursed by every day till my time